For today's story, we are discussing the fact that the Democrats have kept control of the US Senate, which means that in combination with Joe Biden being a member of the same party, Joe Biden will be able to continue to confirm judges to the federal bench. This is one of the unique powers that belongs only to the Senate, is the advice and confirm rule. So judges, in addition to other nominations that require congressional approval, only the Senate has to give approval. So whether the Republicans take the House or not doesn't really matter in this respect. It matters, I guess, in so much as they have issues to pass budgets and stuff like that, but Biden will be able to get his judges. 2 more years of Biden judges with no end in sight. So that's just super positive news. Let's read a little bit more about the story. The Senate Majority Leader, who continues to remain Majority Leader, Chuck Schumer, has vowed the Senate will continue its momentum on judges. Senate Democrats have committed to restoring balance to the federal judiciary with professionally and personally diverse judges. Why diverse in particular, I don't know, but okay. With 2 more years of Senate Democratic majority, we will build on our historic pace of judicial confirmations and ensure the federal bench better reflects the diversity of America. Well, I mean, I'm a silly guy and think maybe you should appoint federal judges who are like really good at being judges. I don't know that diversity is necessarily like a primary consideration. I would think that, you would just get the best judges that you could possibly find for the whole lifetime appointment thing, but perhaps it's just me. Biden's pace of judicial confirmation has largely been on par with that of former President Donald Trump, and no one is going to oppose him. Democrats so far have confirmed 84 judges, have 57 judicial nominees pending, with 117 announced vacancies. Once again, just by way of clarity, I am available. If you really want some diversity, I'm diverse. You can hire me. Now the party won't have to scramble to confirm more Biden judges during the upcoming lame duck session. Democrats have held on to the Senate without needing the runoff win in Georgia. So they already have 50-50, and of course Kamala Harris breaks any ties, which gives them the majority they need. They've got 51 votes. 50 members in the Senate plus Kamala Harris is 51. But having 51 seats would be a difference. That even split of the past 2 years required Democrats to maintain perfect attendance in order to pass their priorities and guarantee nominations. The threadbare majority also meant that committees had an even number of Democrats and Republicans, requiring attendance from the GOP to move forward on nominees, and forcing Democrats to take procedural steps on the Senate floor if a committee deadlocked. If Ralph Warnock keeps his seat, Democrats will be able to move nominees out of committee with a majority. So they won't even have that impediment. There's a big difference between a 50-50 Senate and a 51-49 Senate for the functionality of the Judiciary Committee and the Foreign Relations Committee, said Chris Coons. Simply having control of the Senate means we have the ability to continue moving forward the personnel who will represent us and shape our laws. On the world stage, he added, the Senate majority will allow Biden to demonstrate that he has the ability to move treaties. Well, treaties are harder because they do need a 2/3 majority. But, okay. They can try that. Things in 2024 do look a little bit more rough for the Democrats. Democrats have more vulnerable seats in 2024 than they did this time around. So if the Republicans manage to find, their cojones wherever they lost them, then, they could really clean up in 2024, but not so much for the next 2 years. Brian Schatz of Hawaii was relieved his party is guaranteed to remain in Democratic hands with or without judges. It means we can confirm judges and other nominees. It means we can continue to work on climate. It means at least one chamber will be run by adults. Lol. Democratic Senate control will also mean fewer oversight hearings of the Biden administration, which Senate Republicans vow to do in the lead up to elections. And if the Republicans take back the House, the Senate can unilaterally block party line messaging bills. So yeah, you know, and even in the House with a bare majority, I don't know that they'll necessarily be able to run the massive oversight campaign, the massive oversight hearings that they would have hoped for. I mean, they could put an end to the House's participation in January 6th investigations, so that's nice. But the Senate can continue them. And, you know, yeah. The Democratic majority next year will also play a significant role in determining how the party handles the upcoming lame duck session, particularly when it comes to reaching a deal on spending. Pressure to confirm as many nominees as possible will subside, yeah, because they have more time now. And a push from Democratic senators to add to debt ceiling can now be dealt with. In a New York Times op-ed, Senator Elizabeth Warren called for raising the debt ceiling when the Senate returns to block Republicans from taking our economy hostage next year. So as long as you have control of both houses, why not just raise that debt ceiling? She added, Democrats should be aggressive in putting Republicans on the defensive, pressing hard as to why they're blocking much-needed initiatives to help Americans. Well, it could have something to do with the $27 trillion debt that America currently has, but maybe that's the issue. Coons predicted that 2024 politics are going to get in the way of getting big things done. Yeah, I think that's probably true. And therefore, they need to deal with basic issues sooner rather than possible. Thus, that brings us to the end of the story about how the Democrats will remain in control of the Senate and will be able to confirm their judges. There's a lot of open judgeships. Unfortunately, as of today, I have not yet been nominated for a federal judgeship. Apparently, there are 117 openings. I am available. I'm available. I can bring my hat, the hat of justice, and just saying, I'm very available. So if you want some diversity, I'm ready, willing, able to go. But for the moment, it's going to be whoever Biden picks. Maybe he'll pick me. Who knows? But until that moment happens, that will bring us to the end of this discussion of this story.